Hi, welcome to the first ever episode of Perusing the Pages with me, your host, Paige. I have decided to start making a couple videos because I really love reading and I love literature and anything relating to it. And I decided that I really want a book club. And any book club that I've tried to join in person never works out. I live too far away, or I can't find people interested in reading the same books as me. So screw that, I'm making my own, and it's gonna be digital. So if you like it, follow along. If not, okay. So the first book that I am going to talk about today is A Monster Calls. And I actually got into this book because my husband, Brandon, really loves it. And he is not a huge reader, at least he wasn't when he recommended this to me. And he mentioned that it was one of his favorites. He loved reading it. He really enjoyed the message that it had. And so I got it for him for a Christmas or birthday present. I don't remember what. And then about a year later, I decided to read it because I had no idea what I'd gotten him. And apparently there is a movie starring Liam Neeson. I am not sure if that is true or not. If that is, I need to read it or watch it because I love Liam Neeson and I would like him to narrate my life. So I'll look into that. It was a really good book. This is realistic fiction, I would say. It's very quick. I read it in a span of about 2 hours. It's about an afternoon over Thanksgiving. It was very nice. I loved it. I sobbed through the entire last couple chapters. The messages in this book are very relatable. Everyone can relate to the things that Connor, our main character, goes through. It really struck a chord with me. I was unabashedly sobbing in front of my family as I read through the last little bit of this book. It's very impactful. When I finished, I had to just sit, lay the book on a side table and just kind of sit with my thoughts and think, I'm okay. It's all right. This is a fictional world. It's okay. The summary is that there's a very sweet young British boy. He's about 12 years old. His name is Connor, and his mom is sick. His mom's been sick for a while. It's the reason his parents split up is that she's sick. And every night at exactly 12:07, a giant yew tree, the yew tree that's in his backyard, comes to life and enters his dreams and tells him a story. And it goes on for a couple nights in a row. It tells him 3 different stories, and at the end of the book, Connor must put what the tree has taught him into action in his own life. So that's kind of your rough outline of what this book is about. Your main characters are Connor, who is a young boy going to school, his mom, who I believe is just mom in the book, his grandma, who he does end up staying with for a day or two at her house, the yew tree, naturally, gotta have your big monster, and Lily. Lily is the neighbor girl and his old, very best friend, who he's not super close with anymore. The artwork for this book, at least in this version, is beautiful. It's dark, it's a little bit gritty. That's just beautiful. It's all of it, everything is black and white. It's all inverted type of images, but it's beautiful and it very much adds to the story. So the stories that the yew tree tells he has 3 different stories that he mentions. The first is about the prince and the queen. And it's a little Snow White-esque, right? Younger queen marries prince, or marries king, king dies. Prince falls in love with princess, wants to marry princess, they run off together, princess dies. Everyone's like, it's the queen, because she's a witch. She's an evil, nasty lady. And that's what the yew tree tells Connor, and Connor's like, oh man, what a terrible, queen, hate witches. Bad, right? And the yew tree's like, wrong. It's deceptive, and let me show you. And he kind of takes him back in time, and he shows that the prince just said that the queen killed the princess. In reality, he's the one who stabbed her. He made this whole show about waking up and finding her dead. And in reality, the queen did nothing except live peacefully, right? And try and make her kingdom a better place. Kind of changes that perspective of good people can be bad and bad people can be good. It doesn't matter what people are saying, it matters what they are doing. What do their actions say? The adage of actions speak louder than words, right? The second tale is about the apothecary and the parson. The parson, correct me if I'm wrong, is like a vicar type of person, so a priest slash religious holy figure. Don't think they're Catholic though. Could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. That's just what my context clues are giving me. This story focuses on the greedy, selfish apothecary in a strict and a strict hypocritical parson, and just talks about how people's actions are driven by complex motivations rather than purely good or bad, right? Every person is a little bit good and a little bit bad on both sides, right? The apothecary does want to help people by giving them natural remedies, but also knows how to make poison to kill people. The parson does want people to follow good and strict guidelines and rules, but also will need to turn to like natural medicine or like supernatural beings or powers every once in a while, right? It's just kind of that yin and yang. There's a little bit of good, there's a little bit of bad in everybody. It's not one or the other. And the third tale that Yew Tree tells Connor is about the Invisible Man. And it's a story about an invisible man who calls for a monster because he's tired of being overlooked. And this story in particular really, really mirrors Connor's experience, right? He's getting bullied in school. He feels like nobody sees him. He feels like he doesn't have any friends. Everyone understands that feeling of feeling like you are overlooked or invisible, right? The problem with the Invisible Man story is that Connor does take courage and try out what happened in this story in his real life, right? He screams and yells and "I'm not invisible!" and stands up to his bully, and it gets him in trouble because he's screaming and causing ruckus and made a whole fight in the cafeteria. It gets him in trouble. It improves his life. The bullying stops, but he got in trouble for it as well. And so it's kind of, again, that good and bad. There's both sides to every coin. And the Yew Tree is trying to implement these things to Connor because at the end of the book, you learn that Connor's mom has cancer and that she dies. And at 12:07 every night when the Yew Tree would visit Connor, that's when his mom dies, at 12:07 at the end of the book. And it is so heartbreaking the way that it happens because Connor's looking at the timer or the clock on the wall and he's seeing it count down from like 11:50 to 12:02 to 12:05 and 12:07 and the heart rate monitor stops. Sorry. And he knows that his mom passes away. And it is so heartbreaking because his recurring nightmare throughout the whole book is that his mom is falling off a cliff and he can't save her. And that's just his way of, it's just his body's and his mind's way of dealing with that grief of he knows his mom is dying and he can't save her. He can't bring her back. And the Yew Tree is giving him these lessons and these stories to help him cope and move on and learn to live with that grief, right? Grief is a hole in your heart that never truly fills. You just learn to live with the hollowness. The stories that the Yew Tree gives Connor really help him with that. They help him learn to forgive people, right? Maybe his bully has things that going on at home that he can't control, and so he takes it out on Connor because that is something he can control. And it's very beautiful. The lessons that Connor learns in this story are so simple yet so impactful. So my review. Did I like it? Yes, I loved it. I flew through this so fast. Once I started, I couldn't really put it down. I highly enjoyed my time reading it. How long did it take? Like I said, just about two and a half, maybe 3 hours. What was the reading like? It's fairly simple. It's fairly easy. I would recommend this at probably middle school level. To my recollection, there's not any language. There's no graphic or sexual scenes at all. I would let my 7th grade students read this book. In fact, I would highly recommend my 7th grade students read this book. The emotional depth and the emotional context that is in this book is crazy and crazy good. Out of 5 stars, 5 out of 5. Go read this book. Go borrow it from your library. Please go download it on Libby or whatever app you use. Read this book. It is beautiful and impactful. Lastly, just to satisfy the teacher in me, I want to talk about a couple discussion questions, and I'll give you my questions, then I'll give you my take on it, and please feel free to respond, debate me about this. You know, there's no right answer. Literature is amazing because everyone reads it differently. Everyone sees and visualizes everything differently. So please respond to this. But number one, do you think the yew tree accurately prepared Connor for his mother's death? And I really do think, no, I'm changing my mind on this. No, I don't think the yew tree prepared Connor for his mother's death. I don't think you can prepare anyone for the death of a parent, a sibling, a loved one. Nothing will prepare you for that. No matter how many stories you tell, no matter how many fantastical experiences you have, nothing can prepare you for that feeling. Did the yew tree give Connor the necessary brain power? I guess, I don't know, the necessary skills, thank you, the necessary skills to work with his grief and evolve from it, right, and be okay? Absolutely. Right, the yew tree was preparing Connor for his life after his mother's passing. I think that is very different from his mother's death versus after. Number two, do the lessons the tree taught him apply elsewhere? 100%, right? The lessons of not everybody is good, not everybody is bad. There's a little bit of everyone and everything. That applies to every single thing and every single person you'll meet in your entire life. For example, nobody on earth is perfect. Literally, absolutely, 0 people are perfect on this earth. We are not all good. We are not all bad. It is our actions that define us. It is what we do with what we say that matters. Because you can talk all day long, but are you actually backing up what you say is what matters. And that's what your personality is based off of, what your character and your morality is based off of. And the yew tree telling Connor these stories and giving him those lessons and those morals, those apply to everybody he'll meet in the rest of his life. Not only that, but they apply to every reader and everybody that you will meet in your life. So I definitely think that they can be applied elsewhere. Number 3, how do you think Connor will grow because of this? I think he will be sad. I mean, the story ends right after his mother's death. And naturally, he's going to be sad. The death of a parent is something I thankfully have not experienced, but it is something that I dread in my life. I don't want to face that grief. That is an awful thing to think of, let alone for a 12-year-old. I cannot imagine, because I teach 12-year-olds, I cannot imagine how my heart would break for one of them if one of my students had to go through this experience, let alone myself. And so to see it from Connor's perspective, it is so meaningful. And I think he will carry that through the rest of his life. But these stories and these lessons that the yew tree taught him, he's forever going to remember that. Not only because he's forever going to remember when his mom died, but he's forever going to remember how he got over it and how he got through it and what helped him. So that when that happens to someone else, he can be there to help them as well. And number 4, how our relationships changed throughout the book. One of the big relationships that changed is Connor's with his dad. His dad is no longer with his mom, and his dad is consistently letting Connor down, right? Oh, I'll pick you up soon, buddy. We'll go and do this. Sure, you can come out and visit us in America. It'll be super fun, except new wife, stepmom doesn't want Connor to come visit, right? And it kind of really breaks Connor's heart at the beginning, and I think towards the end he kind of accepts, my dad isn't here. There's a reason he's not here, and that's okay. I'm happy he's happy. Is it perfect? No, because he's 12. And what 12-year-old is going to be super ecstatic that his dad has a new family and left him behind? Another big one that changes is Connor with his grandma. In his mind at the beginning, grandma is very strict. She's very rigid. She doesn't like to have fun. She's so mean. And she just wants to bother him. And at the end of the book, you realize that that's not true. That she cares very, very much for Connor. That she just lives differently, and she's not used to raising a 12-year-old boy. She only had a daughter, and her daughter's dying, and that takes a toll on someone's soul. Another big relationship that changed that I was excited to see was Connor and his friend Lily. At the very beginning of the book, he spurns Lily. He pushes her off. He's like, I don't want to talk to you. We're not friends anymore. We don't speak, right? Because he was still under that I'm the invisible man mindset. At the end of the book, he goes back, and Lily is there to comfort him after his mother's passing and Does she understand completely what he's going through? No, nobody will. But he goes and he repairs that bridge of friendship that he had with her. And it's very beautiful to see. So those are my thoughts. These are my opinions about A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I'm sorry, I don't think I actually said the author's name. A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. That's just what I thought. My thoughts and opinions, my summary, my review, and my discussion questions. Please, please, please feel free to comment. Leave me your opinions, your thoughts. If you have any questions, what stuck with you about this book? Have you read it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Would you read it based on what I have told you about this book? I kind of gave away everything if you listened to it, so sorry. But I hope you enjoyed this, and please feel free to comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks.